journeying with Jesus be like, we gotta stand up and what's right. So, you know what I realized? That people will do anything or accept anything just to say they have somebody. Just because they don't want to be alone or they don't want to be left out. Looking for assurance, looking for love. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be loved. We all want to be loved. But you gotta set some morals. You gotta set some boundaries. You gotta have morals and values and set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And people accept anything just to feel like they up on one or they got one up on somebody. Yeah, that's how you say it. Feel like they got one up on somebody. And I say all that to say is because I've been there. I didn't stay where I stayed because I wanted to say that's a lie. I did stay where I stayed because I wanted to say I had somebody, but I also loved that individual at one point, and then at one point I was just like, I'm done, I'm finished, I can't take this. But then the thoughts begin to go through my mind, like, what are people gonna say? I remember somebody saying some smart. A couple people I heard said, "Oh, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work." You know what? You were absolutely right. That was God speaking through you. You know, God can use anybody. He used a donkey to speak His word because of the situation. That's why it didn't work. Okay, because God has better for His children. All right. So like, I say all that to say is, stop settling for less just to have somebody. Stop settling for less just to look like you doing something, because you're really not doing anything. You doing something when you got somebody who truly love you, who will sacrifice for you, who will go out on a limb for you, who will hold it down in the midst of all the trials and tribulations, who will be willing to look to a higher power, the higher power, Jesus Christ, from where they can pull strength from when they need strength in the midst of relationships, because we all need Jesus. We all need some strength. You gotta have mercy. You gotta have some patience. You gotta have the mental capacity to be able to deal with people. You gotta have some form of heart, a good heart posture, like an upright heart posture to be able to deal with people and situations. And a lot of people stay in stuff or get into relationships because they looking for financial stability, or it's just a thing to do, or you know, all those worldly things. But that's not what true love is really about. True love is Christ. You know, Jesus is love. God is the definition and the standard of love, not what the world's saying. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say again is, love yourself enough to not put up with somebody bullcrap. Love yourself enough to not belittle yourself under someone else. Love yourself enough to know that you deserve more than being used for whatever somebody want to use you for. Because a lot of times dudes be using females and females be using dudes because they broken. Love yourself enough to heal. Love yourself enough to allow somebody to love you the way God has created you and the way God has truly designed love to be. You know what I'm saying? Just fruit for thought in Jesus' name.